So I was in Clubhouse just a few minutes ago, and someone started talking about me. In fact, a couple people started talking about me, but one of them is someone who I've had a short text message exchange with. So I thought I'd start recording the little chat, so that people could listen to their conversation about me. Well, so today I'm actually at home for personal reasons. And so I have quite a lot of time on my hands. So I decided to go into Clubhouse. I sometimes go in there, mainly I just go in to listen. I don't really speak very much. So I'm just there to listen, and I go to different chat rooms in the debate community or philosophy community, I guess you could say. But I was just in there a few minutes ago in one of the rooms. There were no moderators, but what you're looking at is the icon screen name. He goes by the name of Barthology Plus. Now, I have did a video about him recently, and I will post the link to that in the description area of this video. But what I'm going to do is first show you a text message that he sent to me. Now, to my knowledge, from what I remember, this is the full extent of my communication with Barthology in Clubhouse. Okay? It is one text exchange, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so I'm going to read this. This is my message. Hey, what's up? I was curious. Earlier today, I was in your room for about an hour and a half, just listening. Darth came into the room, and a few minutes later, I was kicked out of the room. Do you know who kicked me and the reason why? Now, here's his response. I didn't kick you. Why you were kicked, no idea. Okay, just curious, thanks. I barely kick anyone. And if I'm going to kick you, I would tell you beforehand. Cowards don't say anything. Okay, well, I have been kicked before without any warning or explanation, and I have a pretty good idea who has did it, if you get my drift. He doesn't like my message. Okay, now if you look at the timestamp on that message, you could see that I sent that to him. This was Saturday evening at 11:46 p.m. Okay, now, following this, I think it was the next day, I was in another room, and Barthology Plus was also in the same room, and I got kicked again. Now this time Darth did not come in the room. The only two moderators in the room were Barthology Plus and Redefine Living. So I did send messages to both of them. I did not receive a reply from Redefine Living, not yet. But I did receive a reply to Barthology Plus. Here is that reply. Well, it just happened again. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I was just kicked again from your room, and this time DD was not in there. The only two mods were you and Redefine. And here was his reply. I was sleeping, goddammit. I'm up now making breakfast for my kids. I don't live online like that. Change your fucking name. So I wrote back, I'm not talking about now. If you notice, I sent you that message last night at about 12 a.m. Forget it, Boyan Pravecha. And then he replies, you hate him, but you want to sit in a chat listening to him. It doesn't make sense to me. That's another conversation. You gave me the answer to my question. Have a good day. Take care. Then he writes back, I don't notice shit from you toxic fucking shitbag of people. Don't ever message me again. Okay, so I didn't message him again. I left it alone. I was willing to leave it at that. That's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to let you listen to a clip of the chat about me. They were talking about me. I missed maybe the first 20 seconds of it, but I turned my recorder on. I didn't miss anything really important. They were just talking about me, about how I was in the room and didn't say anything. You know, that's basically what they were saying. But I'm going to let you listen to this clip where they were talking about me. And then after that, I'm going to make a couple comments. Here's that clip. Oh, and by the way, how the chat begins, Barthology is reading my profile, you know, in Clubhouse. He's reading this to the other people in the room. Okay, here's the clip.
Claims and criteria. A fake, phony, and fraud. He claims to being a Christian in extremely questionable, since he himself has explained how to know if anyone is a Christian and then fails critically short of his own explanation. Oh, look at that.
Bro, he really is Darth Dawkins.
Oh man, he really is. Look.
Okay, so what I've decided to do here is actually listen to it, but add my comments as the conversation progresses. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So she had commented that I'm really into Darth Dawkins, and then he agreed. She, when I say she, I'm talking about, I think her name is Joanne. But yeah, I won't make any denial of that because I've committed a lot of time to exposing this absolute fraud. And I am very proud of my work. I am proud that I've been able to expose his comically ridiculous worldview. And basically, when I'm in Clubhouse, I'm in there for really only a couple things, mainly. I'm in there either to listen to the conversation, not necessarily chat. In rare cases, I do chat, but mainly I'm just in there to relax. You know, as an example, as I said earlier, today I'm off. I don't have to work today, and I have plenty of free time. So I'm just relaxing. The other reason, which is, I would say, the main reason, is that it is my objective to show and expose the worldview of Darth Dawkins. And that is the main reason why I'm in Clubhouse and also in other social media. Now, if you want to debate that issue, or, you know, if anyone wants to make any comments about that, fine. But I will make one comment about that. Not necessarily addressing what they just said, but just as a comment. Darth Dawkins says that he's been debating people online for 12 years. I myself have been online. My YouTube channel in its current form has been online for roughly 4 years. So if you want to make a little comparison, that will give you an idea. Now, there are those people who say that I am obsessed with Darth Dawkins. Hey, well, how about this? There are actually a couple ways I could respond to that, but let me first respond in the most direct way possible. No, I am not obsessed with him. It is a hobby. It is something that I do in my part-time, so that's basically how I would describe it. But now here is another version or an alternate way I could address that. If Darth Dawkins comes up front and says that he is obsessed with debating atheists or debating unbelievers, okay, so how's that? Is that fair enough? If he would be willing to do that, which I know he won't, but if he did, then I would be willing to concede that I am obsessed with him. Okay? And by the way, he seems to be the one that is trying to get me to chat with him.
I mean, he's like, yeah, this is
extremely vile and vulgar.
Wow.
Extremely confrontational individual.
Barth, it's pronounced confrontational. Oh, and one very important thing I wanted to mention is that I will not actually speak with Barth because since it is him that wrote in his text message to me that he doesn't want me to text him again, I will honor that. But if I am in a room with him and I am compelled to talk about him, I will do so. But today, this morning, or earlier, I did not feel like I was compelled to do that.
He uses vulgarity, but you just said that. You said vulgar. Now he's saying it again. That's an error. I wouldn't do that.
Now, actually, that was a good point, so I corrected that little error. Thank you, Barth.
He uses vulgarity while admitting he shouldn't. Tells other that should have been a sentence.
Can I ping Darth in the room? I mean, maybe he needs like help.
This guy?
You know, like when Luke Skywalker confronted his fears.
Yeah, he's obsessed.
Yeah, it's bad.
Let's see how many times. Let's see how many times he says his name.
Okay.
So 1, 2.
This is terrible.
3.
I'm worried.
4. 5.
Ouch. Wonder where he encountered Darth Dawkins, on the YouTube, Discord.
Okay, good question. So I will answer that. I first heard of Darth Dawkins on YouTube when I was actually in the process of doing a website about 𝐏𝐇𝐈𝐋𝐿. And while I was doing that, I heard Darth Dawkins and I listened to him and found that I was listening to quite a few inconsistencies and contradictions. So basically, I abandoned my project with 𝐏𝐇𝐈 and I switched over and I started taking notes on Darth Dawkins, and that's how I got to do the channel and the quiz and the website. All right, Joanna, so thank you. That was a good question.
Yeah, he only says it 6 times in the first few paragraphs, and then he stops.
God, let me think if I would ever do that. Even if I don't know if I would. I don't know. Even when I was obsessed with God, I wouldn't say so. God is light, and God is love, and God is the source of all existence. And God, that's only 3. I have 3 more to go. God is my Lord and Savior, and God is. It's very odd to me to keep.
Yeah, right.
I got to stop there because I'm scaring myself.
I never really thought about the idea that how many times I say someone's name would be some type of a qualifier. But here's another way I could reply to that. Let's say we go to the Bible and we count how many times the supposed biblical God addresses himself as God. Should we just go ahead and throw away the Bible? Or maybe I should just scrap my entire project. I'll tell you what, I'll just get rid of my YouTube channel, I'll get rid of my quiz, I'll get rid of everything because I'm saying his name too many times.
say anything.
Imagine being online and your whole existence is piggyback off of what someone else does.
Imagine being online and calling other people toxic and then going in and putting that toxic personality and that toxic character on full display in front of everyone. It's okay, Barthology. Hold your chin up tall and proud.
I'd love to hear his views. Obviously, he has views.
That's a good one. She said she'd like to hear my view. Well, here's the thing. I always felt that it's not important for me to say anything about my worldview or my viewpoint. It's not important in regard to what I am trying to do online. It makes no difference what I say. In fact, I don't have to say anything because my worldview doesn't have anything to do with showing that someone else's worldview is completely fallacious, completely inconsistent, and absolutely comically ridiculous. I don't have to say anything about my worldview to do that. And now, if you want to know who I'm getting that from, go ahead and go to my website and guess who you'll see. Actually, if you go to my website, one of the very first things I do, that's actually how I open up the website, is by answering that question. That was my start. You know, I open up by saying, who am I? Who is Darth Dawkins Debunked? And then I answer that by showing a video clip. And that video clip shows several statements where Darth is talking and he is telling other people that his worldview is basically irrelevant in order to demonstrate or to investigate someone else's worldview. Let me put it that way. So guess who I got that from?
No, he doesn't have any. His view is just to bitch about other people's views.
Other people's views? I thought you just said earlier that I committed myself basically to one person, or speaking of one person, Darth Dawkins. So where you are getting this thing about me bitching about other people's views, please show me that link or please send me that video, Barth. I would really like to see that. But other than that, I would say you are a liar, Barth. And you know what Darth Dawkins says about liars and about people who lie online. There is a very infamous video about that, Barth. So I would be really careful about that one.
That's his view.
But everyone wants to talk. No one just hangs out and lurks at the bottom.
No, these people do. They're bottom feeders.
Oh, well, that's boring.
Yeah, they're like catfish.
Oh, now that one I love. Thank you. Actually, I've been waiting for that one. And I have a perfect reply. Here it goes. You know, my grandfather, when he grew up, he never heard about the internet when he was young. You know, I'm talking about when he was younger. In fact, I think he passed away before the internet actually became well known. But in his day, he used to listen to this thing. I think it was called a radio. And he never said anything to anybody if he was listening to that radio. There was not a mouse. There was not a keyboard. And I consider my grandfather to be perfectly sane. He passed away with all of his mental facilities. So you might call that boring, but hey, that's your cup of tea, that's fine. I have no problem if you consider that boring.
Like catfish.
Oh yeah, catfish. Gross.
Why didn't you invite DD up?
Oh, now I would like to point out that this lady by the name of Joanna, we have never had any type of a dialogue, either a text or verbal exchange. So basically, everything she's going by right now is based on just me being in a room listening, or based on what Barth is adding to the conversation. That's where she's coming from. She's not coming from personally talking with me, getting my view, asking me questions, getting my side of the story. That's not where she is coming from. Okay, now maybe she has been to my website or listened to my YouTube videos. I don't know. I have no idea. But as far as anything coming directly from me personally, that is not where she is coming from.
He doesn't. Oh, no one needs to invite him up, you fucking idiot. You weren't paying attention before?
Well, I'm just saying, you're bitching and whining about him. Why don't you just invite him up and tell him in person?
No one needs to invite him. He can just unmute and come up.
So he can just come up on his own.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, he can come up on his own here.
All right, okay. Thanks, Joanna.
Yeah, you don't need an invite.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
So,
How am I
what
an
do you
idiot? You're not very smart, are you, Bath?
No, I can tell you're not that smart. You didn't have to say that. That's redundant. Asking stupid questions and saying you're not smart is just stupid.
Okay.
It's not very... Is this like his first time socially active in community or something? I just don't see the point in whining so much. Because you're complaining about them whining about other people, but then you're whining about them whining.
Okay, so that was pretty much the end of the conversation, as far as they, to my knowledge, they weren't talking to me anymore, and I exited at that point. But now I just want to, remind people, this guy that goes by the name of Barthology Plus, I think I've been online longer than him. I could be wrong, but I think I've been online longer than him. I think I've been in Clubhouse longer than him. But he has, I would say, in a pretty short time, relatively short time, built a reputation for himself as being, I guess the word could be toxic? Let me use that word.